Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm happy to see you today for another video, and for this week's video we're gonna talk about something that might be a little confusing, but our goal is to make it so much clearer after the video, which is about grammar. French grammar tend to be a little tricky sometimes, but today we're gonna focus on les verbes pronominaux. Pronominal verbs, that means the verbs that have a little article in front. We have a couple in French. What are those? How do we use them? How do we build them in a phrase? What's the purpose of those verbs? And how do we use them depending on what's the contrary between those verbs and the regular verbs that don't have it? So, this is what we're going to see today, les verbes pronominaux. First, introduction. Qu'est-ce qu'un verbe pronominal? What are those? What's that kind of verb? Un verbe pronominal est un verbe accompagné d'un pronom réfléchi, meaning that type of verb, which is called a pronominal verb, that is a verb that has a little article in front, is always an article that you're going to be able to switch. What does that mean? That means that the article that you're going to be using before your verb shows where the action or to who the action is going to be applied to. Meaning, for example, you're going to see that we have some verbs. The name of the verb is the verb with this article. The verb sometimes doesn't exist or means completely different if it doesn't have this article. So if you want to say the real meaning of that verb, you're going to say the verb plus this article. They need to be always together, always connected. So then we're going to see that if you want to say, for example, a specific action, you're going to keep that article. If you forget about it, if you don't use it, the action or the meaning of the verb will be completely different. Here we have some exceptions, or you're going to see examples. Here, examples, je me lave. This is a verb that has the little article me. Tu te lèves. Te is the article. You see that it's placed before my verb. Il, elle se réveille. Same thing. What you keep in mind and what you need to know is that here, this article is not the same. Why? Because you're always going to have to put the right article for the right pronoun. Meaning when it's for je, the article will always be me. When it's for tu, the article will always be te. For it, it's going to be se, etc. We're going to see that today. But what does that mean? It just means that if you see or if you have a verb that has this article in the name, you need to keep this article and just put it with the right pronoun when you want to conjugate your. Okay, let's see, for example. Here we have all the pronouns that we use. Je, which is I. Tu, that is you. Il, he. Elle is she. On is we informal. Nous is we formal. Vous is you formal or plural. Il, elle means they. Okay. I told you that each pronoun has the specific article, okay? That's what I said, that je will always be followed by me, and then you put your verb. For example, if I want to say the verb to get out of bed. To get out of bed, the verb is se lever. Se, S-I, lever, E-R. If you want to conjugate your verb, it's pretty easy. First, you forget about the se, and you just put the right ending of the verb depending to the right pronoun. So you know that, for example, if you have the verb lever that's finished with er, the ending for je is i. Okay? Je lève. But because the verb is se lever, it's se, I need to keep my se. I just need to adjust it to my pronoun. Because my pronoun is je in that phrase, my article, my se, will turn into me. Je me lève. What does that mean? That just means that the action that I'm talking about, the fact of getting out of bed, applies on myself. I'm the one doing it. Okay? For example, let's keep the example je me lève, and I don't say je ne me. I just say je lève. That means I'm raising. Exemple, je lève mon verre. I'm raising my glass. So I'm not raising myself, I'm raising something else. So if the action applies on yourself, like you're the one doing the action, this is where you're going to need to have the pronoun. Je me lève, I'm getting out of bed. Tu te couches, same thing. The verb is se coucher, to go to bed. If I want to say you go to bed, you are the one doing the action. So you need to keep the se but adjust it to the pronoun. The pronoun is tu, so the article will always be te. Tu te couches. But I still keep my same verb, meaning that, for example, if my verb is coucher and I'm using tu, I'm going to keep using the es at the end because it's my natural ending of the verb. So this doesn't change. You keep the natural way that you're going to build your verb depending on the pronoun and the ending. You just need to add the pronoun if the verb has it when it's full form, infinitive. Il, elle, on, the pronoun will always be se, same as the name of the verb. So for example, here, the example is il se douche. What does that mean? The verb is se doucher. Se doucher means to shower. It's the name of the verb. To say to shower, we have se doucher. Doucher finishes with er. So I know that for il, elle, on, my ending of the verb is i. Se douche, ending it with i. And then, because it's il, elle, on, I know that I need to put the right pronoun for them, which is the se. Il se douche, he's showering himself. Then, for nous and for vous, it's pretty easy. You're just going to have to double it. So, for example, if you want to say the verb to wake up, se réveiller. Se réveiller, to wake up. If I want to say we are waking up, we wake up, I'm going to double the we, which is nous. So my se, that is the base of the verb, se réveiller, se will turn into nous again. But I'm going to keep using my natural pronoun. So I'm going to say nous réveillons. And I still connect my verb. I know that for nous, the ending of the verb will always be ONS, so I'm going to keep that. I'm just going to have to change the little pronoun that is before my verb to the right pronoun, and for nous, you double it. Same for vous. Vous vous appelez. That means you call each other. Okay? So here, appeler is the verb er. For vous, the ending is always es. And when I have the se verb, for vous, the article will be the same vous. So I'm going to double my vous. So if you see in the phrase or in the text the double pronoun nous or vous, that means that this verb is reflexive and this verb has the little article before when it's infinitive. And then the last one, il se brosse les dents. The verb is se brosser les dents. Se, the same, brosser er, les dents. It means to brush teeth. If I want to say they're brushing their teeth, okay? I'm going to keep the same cross structure because the verb is se brosser. The se for il, elle is the same as the singular, meaning the same as the name of the verb. I'm going to keep the se, but I'm going to put ent because it's il, elle. So you always have to think, okay, first thing that I need to keep in mind, what's my ending for the verb? If it's je, I, tu, is, il, elle, on. I, nous, ons, vous, iz, il, elle, ent. And then I put my pronoun in between. If it's je, me, tu, te, il, elle, on, se, nous, vous, il, elle, se. So now when we're going to read the example, je me lève, tu te couches, il se douche, nous nous réveillons, vous vous appelez, il se brosse les dents. Okay. Now, let's see the most common verbs that has the little article in front. Se lever, to get up. Se coucher, to go to bed. Se réveiller, to wake up. S'habiller, to get dressed. Here is the same thing. It's just that we remove the E because we have the H from habiller. And we cannot have se habiller, H, because it's mute. We have the same rule as if it was starting with a vowel, meaning we can connect. So if you want to see s'habiller, it is the same as se habiller. I still have my reflexive pronoun se. It's just that we remove the E. Se laver, to shower or to wash oneself. Se brosser les dents, to brush one's teeth. S'appeler, to be called or to call. Et se promener, to go for a walk. So here you see these are the names of my verbs. This is how they're called. Because they have the se, I'm just going to have to connect it. So let's, for example, see the last one, to go for a walk. And I want to say, I am going for a walk. I'm doing it. I see that my verb has the se. What is the se for je? Because I want to say I. For je, it's me. So I say, je me promène. And I'm going to finish my verb promener with the I, because it's for je. Tu te promènes, etc. Okay. Now, utilisation dans la vie quotidienne. those verbs that has the little pronoun, those reflexive verbs, they're really used when it comes to natural and daily basics. That means the majority of the verbs that we saw earlier describe your day, to go to bed, to wake up, to shower, to get dressed. So we use it a lot every time that we want to describe our activity or what we do in a day. Example, je me réveille à 7 heures, meaning I'm waking up or I wake up at 7 a.m. The verb me réveille is se réveiller, third one. Because it's for myself, je me réveille. Je me lave et je m'habille. So it's pretty easy because you know that every time you're going to be using I, which is je, you're the one doing the action. The pronoun, the little article will always be me. Je me lave, je m'habille. And the same as the name of the verb as habille, which is to get dressed. I can say je me habille, but because I have two vowel, I have the vowel from I, me, and the H from habille, you can connect. Je m'habille. And then je me couche à 22 heures. What is je me couche? The verb is se coucher, second one, to go to bed. If I want to conjugate it, I know that it's going to be de se turns into me because it's for myself. Je me couche with the I because it's the ending of my verb for je. Je me couche, meaning I go to bed at 10 p.m. This is how I'm going to build the phrases, okay? More examples so that I'm pretty sure it's going to be better and easier for you. Look, for example, this is what we said. Je me habille. It's the verb s'habiller. I can say je m'habille. I'm just gonna connect it, my I with my H, remove it, put an apostrophe, and you're good. Je m'habille avant le petit déjeuner. I get dressed before breakfast. Second one, the verb is se réveiller. Se réveiller, to wake up. I'm going to change my se to te because my pronoun is tu. So tu te réveilles, finishing with es, à quelle heure? Meaning, you wake up at what time? Third one, se raser. Se raser means to shave. So if you want to say, he's shaving every morning. He shaves every morning. Same thing. I know that my pronoun is il. What is the se for il? Same as the name of the verb. Same as the full form, infinitive. I'm going to keep se. Il se rase, ending with the i because it's il. Chaque matin. And the fourth one, last one, se lever. Se lever, to get out of bed. It's for nous. You see that the pronoun is nous, which is we. If I want to say, we get out of bed early, blah, 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 se lever. I'm going to put lever ONS because it's nous. But the se for nous, it's nous again. So you're going to double your nous and put the ONS for the verb. Nous nous levons tôt le dimanche pour aller au marché. Meaning, we get out of bed early on Sunday to go to the farmer's market. So it's always going to be the same thing. You just have to look at, okay, what's my verb? Then what is my pronoun? If it's je, the se turns into me. If it's tu, the se turns into te. If it's il, elle, on, se keeps the same se. If it's nous, se turns into nous, double nous. If it's vous, se turns into vous, double vous. And then if it's il, elle, plural, which is they, se remains se. And then you just conjugate and connect your verb with the right ending depending on the Okay, I hope that this video was helpful, that you learned a little more on the construction of those verbs. Here you have a little exercise if you want to practice. So I wrote you 6 different phrases. Here you have the name of the verb full form. Before that phrase, you have the pronoun. You just have to conjugate the verb with the right pronoun using the right article. So, se lever. Okay, we know that se lever, we have the se and we have the verb full form. What is the se for je? You have to put that and then connect your verb with the right form, with the right ending because it's je. And you do that for all the phrases. Feel free to always practice. If you have any struggle, don't panic. We're here to help. You can always try to write the answers in the comment section. You can try to do it on your computer, on a piece of paper, and send it to us on our Instagram page, French Language Solutions. We can always try to help. And if you have any more struggle, questions, issues, feel free to reach to us. We're going to be happy to help. Okay, let's just read those phrases together for the pronunciation, and then I'm going to let you do the job. 1. Je se levais à 7 heures. Tu s'appelais comment? Il se brosser les dents. Nous, se promener au parc. Vous, se coucher tard. Et elle, s'habiller rapidement. And you just have to conjugate. Always try to look for the article that has to be matching with the pronoun, and you connect your verb with the right ending. And you're all good. That's it for today's video. That you guys liked it. If you did, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We're making videos every week. And same as usual, if you have any question, reach to us. I'm wishing you all a good end of your week, and I'm seeing you next week for another video. Salut!